just about this time last year, Merkel was trying to get her own citizens out of jail. They were stuck in prison in Turkey. She's had her issues with Erdogan, and now it looks like she's offering him an olive branch.
Yes, Matt, and of course, one of the big issues that's looming in the background is Syria, which is Turkey's neighbor, and where Turkey also has an involvement in the war, and the refugees on Turkish soil. Now, I mean, the line from German officials, people close to Merkel, is very much that there is no aid on offer. I mean, obviously nothing like $15 billion from Erdogan's friends in Qatar, and even anything much less. But there is this this notion, as you're saying, of an olive branch, and that Germany also has huge economic ties with Turkey. So it's kind of a rebuilding effort.
And she's counting on Erdogan as well to keep millions of refugees out of the German borders.
That is the low-down truth, isn't it? And the EU, at German behest, has already pledged billions to Turkey in aid to effectively keep the refugees on its soil. And, I mean, what you have to remember, apart from anything having to do with the relations between Erdogan and Merkel, which were pretty bad, and you may remember that Erdogan was accusing European countries of Nazism for not letting his officials campaign in Europe, this kind of thing. Wherever that stands, the refugee issue is still the main thing, and it's still very much alive in Germany and in German politics. Even though we were just told yesterday by the UN Refugee Commissioner there is no refugee crisis in Europe right now, but there is the fallout of the refugee crisis.
Well, and Guy, I'll just remind you as well, we just had a German soccer player quit the national team after receiving a ton of flack for claiming Erdogan as his president. So there's so many issues at play here. It's a fascinating time, Guy. I'm not sure if you follow German World Cup soccer since they lost so so early on in the tournament.
The fact that there's an Arsenal connection as well probably is a factor in that as well. It means that it was covered pretty extensively over here, I have to say. We certainly paid attention to that one. Tony, just putting this in a more global context, Angela Merkel is talking to President Erdogan. The reason for some of President Erdogan's problems at the moment lie in his relationship with President Trump. How dangerous territory is this for Angela Merkel vis-à-vis the transatlantic relationship?
Well, Germany has in terms of transatlantic relationship and where Turkey stands in that, you have to look at NATO. And Merkel does not want Trump to torpedo NATO. It's a fundamental pillar of German security and, if you like, foreign policy. And so there is that aspect of it. What can Merkel actually do and would she do anything to help Erdogan against Trump in this particular situation? I think that's a bit too, that's just too simple. But what is happening is that Vladimir Putin is coming to Berlin, or actually to Germany on Saturday. So who is, if you like, the key player in Syria. So there's a whole sort of ball of wool of diplomacy going on here. And, of course, one of Merkel's aims is to prevent, although in fairness, I have to say she doesn't say this publicly, but clearly one of her aims is to prevent Turkey from drifting off towards Russia.